Hi, everybody. Well, if you didn't see the title, you know that I have full access to my computer, right? So I thought I'd just come in here and where there's nobody. I'm not alone. We have birds. Thank you for joining me. I thought I'd tell you what's going on. A lot of you have been texting me or asking me where I've been. It's a little bright that way. Let me see if I can go this way. Or I can turn it around later. I just wanted to put it in this little tripod I have to tell you. I'm detained. I'm detained. Yeah. Now, I'm not in handcuffs. I'm not in a jail cell, but I'm in the departure terminal at the airport, NKC. I wanted to let everybody know that I'm safe and I'm okay. So that's the situation. Can't get out of the airport. Can't go to the Eye of Africa. I made that cute little thumbnail explaining that I'm still at 3 now. So why? Well, here's the story. First of all, I'm in Mauritania. We were in Morocco. I did the live stream from Spain, and I did a couple of uploads from Morocco. And then what we did was we came to Nouakchott next. I'd like to thank my host, my sponsor, a producer, Matt Berner. He's with me. Getting some shut-eye. It's hard to sleep. I've had about 5 hours sleep, and I've been here in this airport for at least 36 hours now. We're headed towards 48 hours detained, unable to leave the airport, unable to, we don't have our passports. Our passports have been confiscated. I just want to let everybody know exactly what's going on. So we're here. I want to thank Matt Berner for helping me so far. I didn't want to say his name, out of respect. People like to keep their privacy, but at this time I do want to say his name because he is here with me and he deserves to be known that it's here. I want everybody to know what's going on. So I finally got my stuff together and I'm doing this live stream. Here we are in Mauritania. We were on our way to the Eye of Africa for the first time. Thanks for the thumbs up. Please like, subscribe, share this video, share it on X. We were trying to not do anything, not keep it a secret, but then we finally had to call the embassy. We don't have answers. So here's what happened. I got it right here. Let me show you. I have been here 3 times already. Okay, that's how we did it. I've been here 3 times. I'm going to show you the visas. This is my old passport. Okay, I have a new one now. This is expired, and here's 2. One in 2022 January, one in October 2022, and also the 3rd one, which was in 2024. I came here, and then. By the way, there's a bird in here. I'm not the only one caged. And these birds can't get out. That's the one thing about big rooms. He's really loud. He doesn't like me. He's like, get out of here. Anyways, the birds are also unable to get out of the airport. So I have those 3 visas, and I had the experience of arriving. Those are called arrival visas. You go in, and you give them $60. You fill out a simple page, and when you sorry, I'm getting pop-up messages, so I just moved it out of the way, but I almost wanted to respond. I can't respond, or I would. I don't want to mess up this live stream. I want to get it over with. So as you can see, I have 3 arrival visas, and recently you knew that I was doing like a tour here. I didn't make it to that tour in February because there were no English-speaking clients, and that was the deal. So the English-speaking tour was also scheduled for November. That was the Russian group that I've already talked about. Now, when they were headed, they talked about doing the e-visa. And I said, e-visa, huh? I kind of knew about it, where you wouldn't have to stand in the hour-long line, I thought. You would just show up, and they said you have to pay when you arrive. So I thought that was an option. Well, we bought our ticket on the same day. Well, the day before. We bought it right before we flew out, like maybe 48 hours. I think it was less than that. We basically bought it online in Morocco, and then we flew out like 24 hours later. And so doing the e-visa just didn't make sense. Now, even if we had done it, it takes 72 hours to get approved. And that's what the Russians told me, still waiting to get approved. So if you want to come on the 4th, you apply by the 1st. Well, actually, April Fool's Day, that's the day we got here, April 1st. Actually, it was right at the midnight, right when it changed to April 2nd. So I didn't apply for the e-visa because I thought it's not going to matter. I'm still going to it's not going to get approved in time. So let's just show up and do it the arrival visa way that I've done 3 times, as I just showed you. So the whole story is, I was so happy. This was so exhilarating. We got off the airplane. I was stoked. We had a great hotel booked on the beach, and we showed up and we got off the plane and we went down, and the first thing that somebody demanded was my online visa, right? Where's your online visa? Now I know that you would have had a QR code either printed or on your phone that you could show, and then they would go to the next step, which is over to pay for that online visa. Oh, 4 more people, thanks. Please subscribe, please like, subscribe, share this video. And now I am trying to get somebody to notice, because we've been here over 24 hours. I thought it was going to be taken care of right away. I've got people on the other side helping me. We've contacted the U.S. Embassy even just to let them know about the problem, because this has become a little ridiculous. Don't let this happen to you, okay? Don't let this happen to you. What happened was the e-visa is not an option. The e-visa is now mandatory. And the arrival visa, look, I've been to the website, and I begged my viewers to go to the website and take a look themselves. Take a look at the website yourself and see if you can find, if I made a mistake, does it say somewhere on the Mauritanian website that the arrival visa is no longer an option? Because when it said e-visa, that was to me a great way to bypass that long line. Also, if everybody's doing it, then that line will also be shorter. So I thought, this is great. I'll just go do the arrival visa. We might have to wait an hour like last time in the line, but at least we'll, have the visa when we arrive. Well, it turns out that's not an option. Now, I did hear that if we paid an extra $10, it could be done, and I handed the person my money, but after a couple seconds, the money was handed back to me, and I was told no. And then, quickly, our passports were taken away from us, and we were escorted up to the departure lounge, and they said, here you stay. And I'm going to show you around in a moment. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Thanks for that. And I still have that GoFundMe. I really want to get out there. If we get released today, we'll still have time. I wanted to bring tourism to this country, so I always thought we were doing the right thing, but perhaps it's not the right thing in people's eyes. So maybe I wrote on the application that I wanted to continue my research, 50 characters. So when we were brought up here, we were told apply for the online visa right away. So we did it. Here's one of the problems. When we applied for the online visa, we weren't able to enter that date. The date had to be 72 hours. So we entered the first date we could. That was the 4th. And tomorrow's the 4th, but doesn't it have to be approved before the 4th? Sorry, I'm going to just hold this, so I'm going to jiggle a little so I can get back by the light. So the e-visa application online, and we chose the 30-day, wouldn't let us put in the 1st or the 2nd. And I would have put in the 1st, but the 4th was the first one we could enter into it. So I feel like those birds are so loud. Shut up. No, they're up there in the windows. There's one over there. In that window, there's one over there. There's one right up there in that window. And there's one over there. And they're stuck in here. So think of Nelly Furtado's song. I am like a bird. I want to fly away. I don't know where my soul is. I don't know where my home is. but baby, I want you. Okay, anyways, back to the thing. So we applied right away, and we thought, okay, so now that it's in the system, they can go and give us that exception. We heard the word exception mumbled, and we heard other words, but it was never done. So then I finally called my contact outside, and thank you very much. I'm not going to name names because I want to protect people's privacy, but thank you so much, Mr. L, for all you've done, and you got things rolling. In fact, apparently the whole thing was fixed yesterday at 12:30, but they're still waiting for the approval stamp. We were told that it's going to be 2 o'clock. Then we were told 15 minutes later. Earlier we were told as late as 4, but by 4, it's the end of the day, it's going to be finished. And then 4 o'clock came, and that's when our minds started to get really like, is this going to be one more night? And yes, it was. We were here one more night. It's about, I think, 11 o'clock right now. Maybe 10:30 a.m. So, yeah, I'm not going to start crying, but I'm pretty upset, you know. It kind of blows my mind that my trip's getting ruined over something that could have been solved in 5 minutes. And apparently the e-visa is now in full effect, and the arrival visa is the past, no longer available. So that wasn't an option, even though it kind of was at one point in time, but then it was not. And so I guess they were trying to put their foot down and no longer do the exception where people could arrive and get a visa. So the approval process is 72 hours. If that's what we're waiting for, which I don't even know what's going on. We used to have the police come up here and visit us like every hour, but now it's kind of been the silent treatment. I have a few things have happened, and a few of them have been really helpful. We got our checked-in luggage back so I could get some stuff out of there that I needed, some medicine, personal stuff like that, and I'm happy about that. They're not mistreating us. We were able to use the restroom. At first they kind of wanted us to stay in this one part, but that is impossible because the restrooms are all over the place, but they're not where we were sitting. Another problem is the smoking room is right there, and we're sitting there sleeping while people are smoking. I can't do that. I don't smoke. So I'm inhaling all this smoke. It was horrible. So we started to spread out and go to different places, different corners. And to get the internet, I'm over on this side of the room because it's well, I assumed it was going to be quiet, but these birds are making a fuss. There's at least 2 of them in here. So anyways, back to the story. Yeah, and once 4 p.m. came, we were... See, I had this is all rehearsed, but now my mind's ablaze. I don't know what's going on. I haven't changed my clothes. I mean, I haven't had a shower in like 48 hours, easy. We spent all day before we flew driving around Casablanca, and I have pictures of that. And then we were driven to the airport, and we got on the airplane. Okay, so the Mauritanian Airlines should not have let us get on the plane without a visa. This is not my fault, okay? Even if I was stupid enough to not know about the e-visa's mandatoriness, I at least can say the airline should have checked that before letting us get on. They didn't. We got right on the plane, no problem. This is the country's Mauritanian Airlines, so they know the best. They know what their country's rules are. So this is a brand new program, and it's still... Don't let this happen to you. It's still obviously got some kinks in it. Because we thought, okay, this is just a small mistake. It's going to be taken care of really quick. But here we are. Literally about, if it's noon, that's 24 plus 12. So 24 plus 12 is 30, it's 40 hours we've been here. Thanks for your thumbs up. Just letting you know, no, it wasn't due to some broken law, like I was bringing something that I shouldn't have. I didn't even try to bring in the small things like alcohol. Like, I'm an alcoholic. There's no alcohol here. And I had those little bottles, and I thought about bringing them. The first time I came, I brought a big bottle of alcohol, and it was confiscated. So I knew, especially with Matt, I wasn't going to try to do anything with a partner who's, paying for stuff. And so I didn't want to jinx that. So there's no bad things, no drugs, no alcohol, no what else could there be. And So there we are. I mean, they brought us up here, and by the time the next day came, we thought, okay, we couldn't do it in the middle of the night. We arrived at midnight. We couldn't do it in the middle of the night because the person whose stamps the official was no longer here. Later on, I was told more things happen at midnight than the morning, but still waiting for that stamp of approval. It could happen any time, but since some people were saying, oh, he's so dumb, he did this, he did that. No, I did everything right, and I did it as I know, as I have done it 3 times in the past. So the problem is the system was supplanted by a new system, and that new system has kinks in it. The e-visa is not just an option, it's mandatory. And if you want to get in here, you have to use that, and you should do it more than 72 hours in advance, and make sure that the arrival date is the same or before you actually arrive. Otherwise, you might have the bad arrival date, and then you're going to be sitting in the terminal like me. Now, I think we were going to get it fixed so we can come in regardless of the arrival date on the application, but now I don't know. So we're here, and I'll keep you updated. Comment down below, and if you want to help me out, I do believe it's a good idea to share this video at this point. Who's that? Appears that the option for the old visa, you have to be from a group of neighboring countries. E-visa, come on, is for everybody else. Yeah, that's the thing. I think that option is available for certain people still, but not Americans, not USA passport. And by the way, what else happened 4 months ago? 5 letters, starts with T, ends with P. That might be one of the reasons that they're trying to make it difficult, or examples. I don't know. I try to keep politics out of this. So any other questions? Here's the problem. The Wi-Fi, I had to come here and I'm locked into this Wi-Fi, but if I go over there, it might die. So I don't really want to do the whole walk around tour thing, but I can turn this around and show you where I'm at. Thing is, there might be a rule against filming and I don't want to break it, so let's just stick with me for now. And yeah, I'll try to do a little bit, but don't want to break any rules. I'm not trying to stir trouble, but I don't like being here anymore. I want to get out of here. I feel like it's prison. I am being detained. I'm not able to go out. I'm not able to go down into the other lobbies. The police made it very clear that I have to stay up here. If I go down, I'm going to get them mad. And I don't want to get people mad. So that's it. We're here. If we get out today, we can still get to the Eye of Africa. We have less time now because we were leaving on the 7th. So I don't know. Like if I changed, there's a flight out to Turkey today at 7:30, and I thought about taking that to Istanbul because that's a major hub, and we don't need a visa either, so we could just get on there. Of course, we have to pay first, and that means we have to go through the whole system. We have to go out and come back in. I don't know another way to do it unless they authorize it. Hopefully, in the next few minutes, our passports arrive with our visa stamped, and we can enter the country and probably go directly to the Eye of Africa now, because originally we were planning on starting in Nouakchott and sleeping and relaxing, and then going to the Eye. But now, because it's so close to our leaving date, we either change that date or, here comes the bird. Just, I'm a little upset, so I don't have my script down. Please ask any questions, please share, please like, please subscribe, and I do have the donations. I have spent a lot of my own money. First of all, the donations that I got so far almost reached 800 or over 800, and thank you so much if you're my donor. I could use, I don't have money like I used to. If you wonder where the money came from, there was some inheritance. I spent that coming to the Eye of Africa the first 3 times, also other things. It wasn't just travel, So I want to get back to the home I bought. It was a cheap home, but right now I'm missing it awful. I haven't had a shower. I'm filthy. I can change my clothes right now, but I hate to put clean clothes on a dirty body. And just wanted to update you guys. Thank you, Hammond, for your comment. And that's an interesting point. I'm kind of curious where you found that. And if you want to share that link, I'll be sure to check the spam filter if you want to share it in the comments below so we can all see it. I'm already feeling sick. Like I said, I was sleeping next to the smoking area, and so my nose started to kind of clog up, and I've been sneezing today, and I do feel like I'm going to get sick. The air is not great. When we got our check-in luggage back, I went down to get it with the officer, and it was so fresh. I was like, oh man, I can breathe down here, and then I had to bring it all back up, and so here we are, and looking for. Basically, the U.S. Embassy obviously don't have the power to make any action to solve this problem. All they can do is help us inquire. And so I believe that's what's going to happen. One of the first emails you get from them is, your failure to plan is not an emergency on our part. Please understand that. Now, that being said, as American citizens, they do have a duty. And that's very nice, and I am happy they help. And they have helped. They arrived here. I'm not going to say any names. I think 2 agents came. One of them was the U.S. Embassy. One of them was a local representative. And, I don't even know who's really on my side more than the other side, which is the people who are not letting us go into the country. So apparently it's been approved, but at 4 p.m. we didn't get it. And it's like, okay, well, what about later that evening? Well, we were already pretty upset, so we took the next step. I think that if your passport's ever taken from you, you should contact the embassy right away, especially if you've done everything right. That way you have them on your side as soon as possible. That might be considered a mistake we've made. Getting near the end of this video. So I just want to double down. We didn't do anything bad. I'm repeating because I know some people logged in. If you don't know, I'm in the airport. I'm in the obviously the hall for departures. It's not the biggest airport in the world. There's 7. See, the birds shut up when I move towards them. Thank you. And if you know me, I love birds. So it's actually kind of nice. I just feel bad. I've seen them eat. I don't know where they get their water. And I don't know what they're doing. I think they're both boys. There's the one right there. Where is he? Right up there. Kind of right above the monitor, the bird sits and chirps. And they chirp all morning. Woke me up. We can probably see outside. Let me turn this around so you can see outside. That's Terminal 1. Sorry, not terminal. That's gate 1 out there. And this is basically the edge of the Sahara Desert. You got a butterfly, if you can see that. And then I'll that's my bag right there. I'll pick it up and I'll see how far I can walk. Out of respect, I didn't want to film Matt, but do remember that he's with me as well. He's a producer, and I met him a while back, and we've been talking about this trip for months. And I was going to go in January, if you remember. I was going to go in January, then it got changed. I got a new passport, because what I found out was you can't come here. Oops, I almost tripped. You can't come here unless you have 6 months on your passport. And my passport only had, I thought it was May, and at the time, that still wasn't 6 months. So you have to make sure you have 6 months. If you're going to the EU or Morocco, you have to have 60 days left on your passport. And I had about, actually, I also thought my passport was expiring in May, and it turned out it was expiring in February for some dumb reason. So I delayed it until right at the end of January, I got the new passport. And then I was talking to the Russian group who have been so kind. Even they didn't realize. I'm telling you, even the people we talked to who work here in the airport thought you could get a same day, but not for us, not for us. And I think it has to do with Americans. I think that, the whole, you do it to our country, so we do it to your country. That happened to me in Taiwan. Okay, hopefully their time will be on your side. Thank you, Rich. Time will be on your side to explore. Yeah, I have my goal to get to the Giant's Quarry, and I want to get there. If we get out today, we can make it. If we get out tomorrow, I don't know anymore, Like I said, our ticket out of here is on the 7th. And I don't think we're going to be here till the 7th. That would suck. Because this is only 24 hours so far. We've spent 2 mornings here. We've spent 2 midnights here. And another midnight will be the 48-hour point. And then there's, today's the 3rd. Tomorrow's the 4th. 5th, 6th. We don't want to be in the Eye of Africa on the 6th. We want to be back here near the airport on the 6th, at least in the evening of the 6th. So these are dangerous. So we can at least not miss our flight. I think you know what I mean. So right now it is, I'm going to just read off, it's 11:06, the 3rd of April, 2025. We're at the Nouakchott International Airport. There's 7 flights today. One's leaving at 9:36. I think that's already, what time is it now? It's already gone, right? I don't know why it's still on the board. Right now it's not English. The first flight is going to Tunisia. The second flight's going to Casablanca. The third is Istanbul at 7:45. Right now, I'd love to be on that flight. I'll stay here for the rest of the time if I can get on that flight. And yeah, not go to the Eye of Africa. Sorry, but sorry for Matt, because I've been there, and the place I wanted to go was close. It was hard to get to. It's like 100 kilometers away from Wadan. And so it was like, we can make it, but, I'm not trying to push it. Here comes the English. I'll read the English now. So yeah, departed already, 9:36, that's gone. We have a departure at 5 p.m. So there's no more departures until 5 p.m. today. And then at night, right after midnight, there's 3 more. So I'm not sure. I hope it was another comment. Let's see what this says. Sorry. Live chat. Grok, ask it about the e-visa. I'm not saying it's always right, but it collects a lot of data. Okay, thank you. And I will consider that, R. Hammond. I've hit that thing like 4 times, 5 times. It's just ridiculous. I hate that. And I'm not just saying that one. Every seat has one. So I got to start looking around before I start walking. Let's see. Make sure I looked at all these chats. So, yeah, it's crazy that they didn't really know. Also, the airport seems very empty. Yeah, and that means that you would think that they would be able to solve this, like in 5 minutes, right? But instead, and this is where I might be turning into more of a complainer. I'm already complaining, but more of a finger pointer, is I do feel that it's because of the name on my passport, what's printed on the front of the passport. This is the same passport I took to the Eye for the first time. You see it in my pocket in the video. And I've always said that it's a great country. I've always said it's very kind people. I always told Jimmy, no, they're not bad people. Now, it looks like Jimmy was right, You follow the e-visa thing, you're not going to have a problem. And no, I'm not afraid of this country. There's no landmines out there. I know people mention the landmines, but no, it's a safe country. And they're very nice people. But unfortunately, I got glitched. I got glitched by the rules, and I wasn't going to do a live stream, but I think it's only fair that I reach out and talk about what's going on. Maybe I'll have to privatize this video later, or maybe delete it altogether. But at this time, I wanted to let everybody know why I haven't been talking. I've been doing a live stream every day, or I've been doing an upload every day. We had a great time in Spain. The goal was, okay, chat. My general impression before the e-visa came along, there might have been some bribe situations going on. And with e-visa, they cleaned up that mess. I don't know about that. There was never a time when I was like, if you want to do this, we can get this thing going. If I were to have done that, and I don't want to say that word, but if I were to have done that, it could have been taken a negative way as well. That's why I would never want to say that or try that in general. That being said, on the other side, there was never a hand put in my face. Hey, thank you, new viewers, for the thumbs up and the shares and the likes and the donations to my GoFundMe account, which is right below. I still could use that money because, like I said, I am going to probably have to go home and get a job. I'm going to go home poor for this. Just because I've got a sponsor and you guys who are donating, it doesn't mean that that money lasts forever. So yeah, your donations are definitely welcome at this time. And at the same time, I don't even know if I'm going to make it to my goal at this time. I really don't. Like, if I could just get on a plane and leave right now, I would. I still, if I get into the country, will be going. But that trip, that specific trip, I am worried I don't have time. Sometimes I thought maybe we could camp halfway there, or get there and camp, and then come back the next day. But time is running out now. So if you just arrived, again, I will say that I'm being detained in the Mauritanian airport in the capital of Nouakchott. And we apparently broke the law when we didn't get an e-visa, although the website doesn't say that. If you speak Arabic, go to the website and try to find where it says that the arrival visa option's no longer available for Americans, at least, or for anybody. I mean, they acted like I was crazy when I first showed up. Where's your online visa? Oh, I'm getting a call. I'm gonna answer that and I'm gonna hang up. Okay? See you later. Bye-bye.